The man took his wife hiking, but a sudden change in weather caught them off guard. She slipped near the mountain's peak, and though he managed to grab her hand, pulling her back up alone was nearly impossible. After a few desperate seconds, he had no choice but to watch her fall into the abyss. 20 years later, the man had become a billionaire, but losing his wife remained the deepest pain in his heart. Determined to bring her back in some way, he hired a world-renowned robotics expert to build a robot that looked exactly like her. After a brief introduction, the scientist led him to the robot for the first time. Seeing her face again after 2 decades, the man broke down emotionally. What he didn't know was that his wife had actually survived. She was now working as a janitor right downstairs in his own company. It turned out that when she fell, she landed on a tree branch and was rescued by a bachelor living at the mountain's base. A severe head injury caused her to lose all memory. The man who saved her lied, claiming she was his wife, but his gambling addiction drove her to finally divorce him 20 years later. Needing money to stay free of her manipulative ex, who now threatened her unless she gave him $500,000, she took a janitor job while trying to figure out how to come up with the cash. One day, a fire broke out in the upper floors of the building, the very lab where the robot was being developed. Without hesitation, she ran toward the flames to help. The scientist, devastated that 2 decades of work might go up in smoke, was stunned when he saw Hirsch looked exactly like the robot he'd created. Desperate to fulfill his promise to the billionaire, he offered her $1 million to pretend to be the robot. Needing exactly half that amount to pay off her ex and reclaim her freedom, she agreed. Soon after, she followed the scientist to the man's office, and after 20 long years, the two who had once loved each other more than anything were finally face to face again.